Welcome to SGKG Studies Guruji YouTube channel classes, and on this channel we are discussing about certain MCQs on Constitution. So this is second set of MCQ on Constitution. Question number 1. East India Company got the exclusive right of trading in India under a charter granted by Queen Elizabeth in, is it 1559, 1600, 1601 or 1602? And the correct answer is 1600. Yes, Queen Elizabeth granted exclusive right of trading in India to East India Company. So East India came into India only and only for the trading purpose, only and only for the business purpose. ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी एक बिजनेस कंपनी थी और उस बिजनेस कंपनी को इंडिया में बिजनेस करने के लिए एक्सक्लूसिव राइट दिया गया। कहने का मतलब कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ही वैसी ब्रिटिश कंपनी होगी जो इंडिया में ट्रेड कर सकती है, इसलिए ये एक्सक्लूसिव राइट है। दूसरी किसी भी ब्रिटिश कंपनी को ये राइट नहीं दिया गया था। सो दैट इज वाई इट इज एक्सक्लूसिव राइट ऑफ ट्रेडिंग इन इंडिया अंडर चार्टर ग्रांटेड बाय क्वीन एलिजाबेथ इन 1600 ईस्वी। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. In 1765, the East India Company got Diwani rights in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. What is the meaning of Diwani right? So 1765 में पलासी के वार के बाद से और बंगाल के बैटल के बाद से 1765 में ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने दीवानी राइट बंगाल, बिहार और उड़ीसा में प्राप्त कर ली। तो दीवानी राइट का मतलब क्या होता है? राइट ओवर रेवेन्यू ओनली, राइट ओवर सिविल जस्टिस ओनली, राइट ओवर रेवेन्यू क्रिमिनल जस्टिस एंड सिविल जस्टिस ओनली, और राइट ओवर रेवेन्यू एंड सिविल जस्टिस ओनली। एंड द आंसर इज राइट ओवर रेवेन्यू एंड सिविल जस्टिस ओनली। जब भी दीवानी की बात होती है तो दीवानी का मतलब सिविल राइट्स ही होता है और रेवेन्यू से रिलेटेड होता है। सो आज के डेट में भी जो कोर्ट्स हैं वो एक दीवानी कोर्ट होते हैं, एक फौजदारी कोर्ट होते हैं। एक दीवानी को केस होता है, एक फौजदारी केस होता है। जितने भी लैंड रिलेटेड डिस्प्यूट होते हैं, प्रॉपर्टी डिस्प्यूट होते हैं, वो दीवानी डिस्प्यूट, दीवानी केस, सिविल केस कहे जाते हैं। और जो ऑफेंस रिलेटेड, जो आईपीसी में ऑफेंसेज हैं और उसको जब वायलेशन होता है उसके बाद से जो ऑफेंस होता है उसको क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस कहते हैं, उसको फौजदारी कहते हैं। राइट? सो ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी गॉट राइट ओवर रेवेन्यू एंड सिविल जस्टिस इन 1965. Next question. Number of total cases pending in Indian courts are who was first. So it's first part please to be deleted. The question is who was first to suggest the need for a constituent assembly after independence? Who was first to suggest the need for a constituent assembly after independence? So हमें आज़ादी के बाद से एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी, ऐसा पहली बार किसने सजेस्ट किया था? महात्मा गांधी, एम.एन. रॉय, मोतीलाल नेहरू और डॉक्टर अंबेडकर। मोतीलाल नेहरू उस समय स्वर्गवासी हो गए थे। बी.आर. अंबेडकर जी उस समय पिक्चर में नहीं आए थे। महात्मा गांधी कभी जेल में जाते और जेल से बाहर आया कर रहे थे। सो द राइट आंसर इज एम.एन. रॉय. एम.एन. रॉय वाज द फर्स्ट इंडियन इमिनेंट who suggested the need for a constituent assembly after independence. Right? These are the tricky questions. Generally candidates commit mistakes, so we have to be very careful while dealing with the tricky questions. Which one is not a feature of Regulating Act 1773? 1773 में वारेन हेस्टिंग्स को गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ बंगाल बनाया गया, तो उस समय रेगुलेटिंग एक्ट 1773 पास हुआ। रेगुलेटिंग एक्ट 1773 में बहुत से प्रोविजन थे, तो इसमें से कौन नहीं थे? It was the first step taken by British to control and regulate the affairs of East India Company in India. It was the first step taken by the British to control and regulate the affairs of East India Company in India. Second, first time the British recognized the political and administrative function of the company. Third, the Regulating Act of 1773 laid down foundations of central administration in India. It provided for the establishment of the Supreme Court at Madras. So, which is not the figure? It established the Supreme Court at Madras. This is wrong. It establishes the Supreme Court at Calcutta. उस समय कलकत्ता था, अभी कोलकाता हो गया, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट कोलकाता में, फेडरल कोर्ट कोलकाता में स्टैब्लिश किया गया. So this is the wrong answer. Remaining all are correct answer. Which one is not a feature of Regulating Act 1773? Again, question is related to 1773 and which one is not. So when I am putting the question which one is not, that means three features are there and that you are making aware. So if MCQ gets changes, so you can guess at least which is the feature of the 1773 Regulating Act. Board of Control to manage the political affairs was established. It designated the Governor of Bengal as Governor General of Bengal and Governors of Bombay and Madras subordinated to Governor General of Bengal. It prohibited the servants of the company from engaging in any private trade or accepting presents from natives. Court of Directors was created to report the revenue, civil and military affairs in India, and the correct answer is Board of Control to manage the political affairs was established. This is not a feature of 1973 Regulating Act. Why? Under Pitt's India Act 1784, Board of Control was established for managing the political affairs separately. So 1773 का रेगुलेटिंग एक्ट में Board of Control to manage political affair was not established. Board of Control to manage political affairs was established in Pitt's India Act 1784. Next question. So before landing to next question, those who have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, and please do share to your near and dear so that they can also get benefited. This constitution class is in general for all competitive exams. You take out question paper of any competitive exam in India, and at least 5 to 10% questions are coming from Constitution of India. So please ensure at least that much questions, answers, marks from these sessions. Which of the following is not a feature of Pitt's India Act 1784? So after Regulating Act 1773, Pitt's India Act 1784 came into picture. So which is not feature? It distinguished between the commercial and political function of the company. For this first statement, answer is lying in question number 15 itself. A new body, Board of Control, was established to manage the political affairs. It empowered the Board of Control to supervise and direct all operations of civil and military governments and revenue of the British possession in India. It established a system of double government. First time it recognized the political and administrative function of the company, and the correct answer is D. D is not part of Pitt's India Act 1784. It was Regulating Act 1773 that recognized the first time the political and administrative function of the company. So system recognized the East India Company as political and administrative function in 1773 Regulating Act itself. Next question. Which of the following are important facts about Pitt's India Act of 1784? The first time The company's territories in India were called the British possession in India. Under this act, British government was given supreme control over company's affairs and its administration in India. It was the first step towards centralization in British India. It's both A and B, and the correct answer is it was the first step towards centralization in British India. Regulating Act 76 was the first step to centralize in British India. So, this is not the figure. Which of the following is not the figure of? The question is a little bit different. So, I think this will check it. It is D. It's A and B. It's D. Which of the following are important facts about Pitt's India Act? And its answer is D, A and B. First time the company's territory of India were called the British possession in India. Under this act, the British government was given supreme control over the company's affairs and its administration in India. Why C is wrong? C is wrong because it was the first step towards centralization of in British India is wrong. It was not the first step in 1784. The centralization in British India was already taken in Regulating Act 1773. Which act was considered the final step towards centralization in British India? Regulating Act, Pitt's India Act, Charter Act of 1853 or Charter Act of 1833? And the answer is Charter Act of 1833 was the final step towards centralization. There is little bit difference between 18 and 17. This was the first step. 1773 was the first step towards centralization of British India. I repeat, Regulating Act of 1773 was the first step towards centralization in British India, and 1833 Charter Act of 1833 was the final stage towards centralization in British India. Next question, which of the following is not a feature of Charter Act of 1833? It made the Governor General of Bengal the Governor General of India. Lord William Bentinck was the first Governor General of India. The act deprived the legislative power of Bombay, Bengal and Madras. Exclusive legislative power of British India were given to the Governor General of India. And which is not? This C is not correct. The act deprived the legislative power of Bombay, Bengal and Madras. This is not correct. Remaining, it made the Governor General of Bengal the Governor General of India. This is correct. Lord William Bentinck was the first Governor General of India. This is also correct. Lord William Bentinck was Governor General of Bengal during his tenure only. 1833 Charter Act came. So, thereafter Governor General of Bengal name was changed to Governor General of India, and so we can say that William Bentinck was the last Governor General of Bengal. William Bentinck was the last Governor General of Bengal, and he was the first Governor General of India. It's a matter of changing of nomenclature. It's a matter of changing of portfolio. पहले जो गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ बंगाल थे उससे पहले सिर्फ गवर्नर हुआ करते थे, सिर्फ गवर्नर्स ऑफ बंगाल, मद्रास, बॉम्बे हुआ करते थे। 1773 चार्टर एक्ट 1773 के रेगुलेटिंग एक्ट से जो बंगाल के जो गवर्नर थे उनको गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ बंगाल कहा गया। सो 1773 में पोस्ट का नाम हो जाता है गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ बंगाल, और 1833 में उस पोस्ट का नाम बदल के हो जाता है गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया। सो विलियम बेंटिक was the last Governor General of Bengal, but he was the first Governor General of India. I think there should not be any doubt. Last question of this session: which of the following was the first Governor General of Bengal? Who was the first Governor General of Bengal? Warren Hastings, William Bentinck, Lord Canning, Lord Dalhousie. And those who have little bit history knowledge, they will say that Lord Dalhousie is related to doctrine of lapse. So, he is before 1857. Lord Canning was during 1857. William Bentinck was in 1833. So, Warren Hastings was the first Governor General of Bengal, right. So, please do revise the session so that you don't miss any single question. So, इस तरीके से सेकेंड लेसन हमारा पूरा होता है. हम जल्द ही मिलेंगे थर्ड सेट ऑफ MCQ के साथ. तब तक प्लीज़ कीप ऑन रिवाइजिंग. इफ़ यू हैव नॉट सब्सक्राइब, प्लीज़ डू सब्सक्राइब, like, comment and share to your near and dears so that they can also get benefited. We will meet in the next class. Till then,